I think it's so important for everyone to hear because I think, Confessions of a World-Class Coach is not just about like the mistakes that you might be making in your coaching, but it's also about, you know, the confession of like before I, went all in with this, I was scared to put myself out there and I was scared to shine my light and I was scared to go big in my mission. Because I think that's a really big confession too. So thank you for sharing that. Welcome, Badass Manifester. I am so glad you are here. I'm your host and head coach, Ashley Gordon, master mindset and manifestation biz expert, founder of the quantum coaching certification, and multiple six-figure entrepreneur obsessed with empowering you to create quantum leaps in your energy, your life, and your business. This is the show to help you make magic your everyday normal, where the ripple effect is real and the guest experts are world class. My mission is to power your conscious and subconscious mind with manifestation teachings, business tools, and coaching techniques to put your potential into action. Consider this your weekly up level. Are you ready for quantum transformation? Let's do this. What's up, badass manifestors? Welcome back. How you feeling today? I'm feeling really good this morning. I'm recording this on a Sunday morning and I'm just in the best mood ever right now. Like really, like I woke up in such a good mood. I slept like shit last night, but I woke up feeling so energized. So I'm just rolling with it, enjoying our Sunday. It's my only day off with my husband, so it's super nice to have our day off together. And so I'm coming in quick to record this intro to let you know what you're about to listen to. And it always warms my heart when I host Big Coach Energy Live, because on day 2, I always bring in past and current students of the Quantum Coaching Academy for them to share their confessions of a world-class coach, right? Like of what their confessions were before they started in the program and where they are now, and how their businesses have evolved and their journeys have evolved, and really how their coaching has evolved. And so it's been really, really impactful to hear from the students. And I wanted to share this with you because I know some of you have been thinking about joining QCA for a long time. And even if you're not, you'll get so much out of this recording just to learn about the craft and the possibilities of what happens when you go all in your coaching business. And I think that it's just so important to hear it from them versus hearing it from me. Because you hear from me all the time, right? So I want you to hear it from them, their confessions, their doubts, their belief systems, where they are now. Like it's really, really inspiring. So we put together this amazing panel for you to listen to and for you to be inspired that no matter where you are on your coaching journey, you will get to where you want to be. The dreams that you have, the vision that you have for your business is so possible. So let these amazing souls inspire you, follow them, cheer them on their journey. Let them know that you listen to this episode if you can. And I just want to remind you guys that the applications for the Quantum Coaching Academy technically closed yesterday. But if you know me, I always have the podcast coming out on Monday, even though we closed applications on Sunday. However, for anyone listening to this that wants to still apply, they will be open for 24 more hours. Applications will close after that, and we will be wrapping up enrollment for the next cohort that starts July 14th. So the next cohort goes from July 14th to November 17th, and you will graduate 2022 as a certified quantum life coach. Super excited for all of the people that have said yes. Shout out to all of you who are listening, who have stepped in, who have said, I'm doing this. Shout out to all of our graduates. We just graduated the last cohort of QCA, which is just mind-blowing. It's so exciting. It's so crazy. It's so amazing. And I'm just so grateful for all of these amazing souls who are coming in and going out into the world and sharing their gifts. It's really just a truly amazing community that I'm so lucky to be a part of. So enjoy today's episode. The link to apply is in the show notes as well as in the link in my bio. And here's a little clip too of our current students and some of the wins that they have had in this round of QCA.
So, my name is Destiny, and I am a life and femininity coach. And from the beginning, I started posting that I was in QCA from the day that I got on the application call. And I think that's really helped me get clients, just putting it out there from day one, having my free sessions and all of that. But I take women through womb work, and I had a program in September of last year. And a lot of stuff comes up when we start dealing with the womb, a lot of trauma because we hold it and suppress it there. So, as I was doing that, I had been coached before, so I'm just like, I'm going to take what I know from this coach, and see if I can do this. It was kind of like a trial run. And I end up loving it, but I didn't really know how to hold the space properly. So I'm like, what's next? I was already a meditation instructor, and I was looking like maybe it's hypnotherapy, maybe it's life coaching, maybe it's Reiki. And then I saw an ad for QCA, and I'm like, whoa, it's all of it and more. Oh my gosh, I'm getting such like good reviews. Like the transformation is crazy. And our sessions, like everybody is mind blown. Like they're mind blown. Like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. We can end the session right here. And then I'm on the other side, like, dang, I'm mind blown too. Because when I really truly tap in, like Hannah was saying, to my intuition and I listen, it just comes right through. It's so easy. Yeah, I mean, now everything is great, and I have a program launching, and I have some women in already, which is exciting. I'm a paid coach. So, yeah, that's me. When I first joined, like this group that we're in right now, I just posted and I said, I'm going to be in the next round. And you were like, I can't wait to see you there. That was just me manifesting. I had no idea how I was going to, that was just, yes, I'm doing this. I feel it and I'm going after it. And here we are.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello. Okay, so I think the best way to do it is just to kind of go around and introduce yourselves, share who you are, what you do. If you're in QCA or you graduated from QCA, and we'll get it, and your coaching confessional, like what your confessional was, when you were sitting at BCU Live or before you started the program. And hold on, as you guys are listening, if you have questions for these coaches, they're so ready to answer them. So, Callie, you want to kick us off?
Yes. Hello, everyone. Oh, and it's so nice to see everyone's faces here in Zoom. I'm Callie. I'm a business coach, and I graduated from QCA in November of 2021. So what I do is I work with online coaches like yourselves and also online service providers, first to help them get super clear on what's your purpose, what's your messaging inside your business, to help you stand out on your social media platforms, and then to market your business in a way that actually feels super aligned and easy. And I'm also the new QCA business coach, which we're kicking off this month. Super excited for that.
Me too.
Okay, and my confessional, I would say, was having those assumptions. Like, even when I was getting, starting through QCA and I was getting better at my coaching sessions, I would still have those slight assumptions in my head, and I would not be fully present, and I'd be planning ahead like, oh, okay, so she's telling me this story right now. So I'm going to say this thing at the end or this question, and then I would totally not be present. So that was probably the biggest thing that I struggled with before going through QCI.
Yeah, that's huge. That's huge. Like thinking that you were going to navigate the session by being a couple of steps ahead of where the client was.
Yeah, it doesn't work. It really doesn't work.
It doesn't work. And then another one of yours that I thought of earlier that you've said in the past of teaching versus coaching.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And for anyone who is a business coach, in most cases, like with the way that you'll build your business, there is going to be a teaching side to it, and that's totally fine. What I was doing was I was really, like someone else had mentioned on one of your slides, like I was really filling the space with just giving more and more and more information and detail. And it was like, oh, if I just give them all this strategy, that's what they need. And I wasn't allowing for space to actually coach in a session, which is what's really needed.
So true. Thanks for sharing that.
Mm-hmm.
Let's welcome I almost called you Hallie. Callie, everyone. And yes, Callie is so okay, we'll get to everyone and then we'll come back to the business coaching stuff. Cool. Who wants to go next?
I can go
I
next.
can go.
Everyone
go
can
ahead.
go at one time. Let's start with, okay, Katie, do you have time? Are you good?
I do have sick kids home today, so I have quiet right now and I could maximize it if that's okay.
Okay, go for it.
All right. I'm Katie and I was in Callie's round of QCA. So we wrapped up. It was like the last half of last year. And I think I was guilty of just about everything. But I think probably the biggest one was trying to fix. I think that was probably more so in my personal life, trying to fix. I am a bookkeeper and I teach accountants and bookkeepers how to run their own bookkeeping business. So I have a program where I do that. And that was probably 50% of the reason why I joined QCA, was to learn more life coaching skills, to be able to help people through the deeper aspect of what might be keeping them stuck. I don't really agree with that anymore, the idea of being stuck. But, I wanted to be able to help them facilitate change in a deeper way versus just like do this and do that. But there was also a strong personal side where I knew that I would like get skills out of it no matter what I did with QCA that would help me in all of my relationships, which it absolutely has. Like just how to communicate with people in general, like in your life, it's so powerful. So I find like my relationship with my parents is better. I'm just more mindful in a different way as a parent. Just listening and validating is huge. And so I think about it all the time, like in my interactions in that way. But yeah, so there were clear reasons why I joined. And then I just knew that by joining, I would get more out of it than I anticipated. And I can say with certainty that that's the case. And I think I want to share, if it's okay, like a little takeaway that I had from being a student in this program was also that like one of the reasons I wanted to join was to help my students in my program like get results that
You're good.
Okay. Yeah, I got a low battery. I wanted them to like get results the way that I wanted them to, right? Like I was feeling like they weren't getting this transformation not all of them. I actually get great results inside my program, but like that there was a subset of people that, I might be able to help faster or deeper. And then when I went through QCA, like it just identified this like perfect student thing that I had. So I like had that expectation on myself and I was imposing it on my students too. So it just gave me like more trust in everybody's own journey and timing and like more putting more power on my students, but also helping them come to those realizations through the tools and techniques learned in QCA. So it was like, it would be very hard for me to like explain all of the benefits, but it was just such a so many benefits, business and personal.
I'm so glad you shared that. I think it's like such a common feeling of like, yeah, but I could help them have even more transformation like that. It's almost like just allowing yourself to trust the process even more with your students,
yes.
too, which is part of what we talk about, what we teach, all the things. But thank you for sharing that, because I think that's super important for people to know. Thanks, Katie.
Yeah.
Yay. Thanks. Awesome. All right, Bella girl.
Hello, everyone. I'm Bella and I'm from the Philippines. So I am your Southeast Asian babe. My soul sisters are here, Callie and Katie, and I'm so honored again to share space with all of them. I'm so excited. What a journey it has been since graduating QCA last November. I am a life and manifestation coach here in the Philippines, and I am a powerful co-creator and co-facilitator for our community, our local community here. And wow, I mean, I used to be like scared to even go live and talk in front of the big group because that was my own shit. I wasn't really owning that I was a coach, that I was meant to be a coach. I would constantly over prepare over prepare and read my notes like what tool should I use, what question should I say. And it's so funny because like I started QCA newbie coach. I was new to coaching. It wasn't my jam. I was just consulting before QCA and then transitioned into really owning my BCE and really owning that this is my sole purpose and this was what I was meant to do. And I had to really sit with myself and really understand that this is so much bigger than me. Like coaching is so much bigger than me, and it's really not about me, it's about them and the transformation that I provide along the journey. And it's been so rewarding, and I'm getting emotional about it because I just love my clients so much. I love the community that we've built, and yeah, and I love QCA so much. It's supported me see my own light, and I've shared that before in the graduation that I felt 10x lighter and I felt like I came back home to myself. So yeah, that's all I have to share.
Yeah, that's all. No big deal. No big deal. Oh my God. Thank you, Bella, for sharing that. And I think it's so important for everyone to hear because I think, Confessions of a World-Class Coach is not just about like the mistakes that you might be making in your coaching, but it's also about, the confession of like, before I, went all in with this, I was scared to put myself out there and I was scared to shine my light and I was scared to go big in my mission. Because I think that's a really big confession too. So thank you for sharing that. Because look at you now. Yes. And we have Destiny who just joined us. So we'll go to Hannah and then Destiny. I'm so excited you're here. Thanks for being here. Yay.
So I'm Hannah. I am a intuition and boundary breaking coach. So I help people break through boundaries that they've created for themselves and listen to their intuition. And my biggest fear, like when I first started, was like, I don't even know if I can coach.
Yeah.
That was like, confidence was like the biggest thing. I know Ashley knows this. So I hadn't ever coached before being in the Quantum Coach Academy. Like it was the scariest thing for my first one. But I made it through. I had an amazing client, and I will say like my biggest thing that I had to really work through other than confidence was like knowing like what to say, like listening to my intuition and really like being with myself and like letting the questions come to me. Like I had the questions within me to like ask and to really just focus on that. And that's the small little things was what kind of created the big breakthroughs for my client, I think.
Wow. Thank you so much for sharing that. And just to mention, Hannah is in this round of QCA. So we have three students from last round, 2 students from this round, Hannah and Destiny. And I feel like that's important because it just goes to show you, like, I would ask you, Hannah, like from when you started till now, like how much do you feel like you've transformed in your level of confidence of like having none to coaching people through something powerful?
I would say it's definitely gained like a ton of momentum. From the beginning, I don't know if I was actually like going to coach. I was kind of like, oh, I know I'm going to go ahead and learn life skills. I know that I'm going to work through a whole bunch of my own stuff and be like this amazing person afterwards because I know I'm going to work on myself. I wasn't sure if I really wanted to like coach at the very beginning. But I think like working through stuff, I realized like I can do this. This is something I'm good at. And
Yes.
like coaching people actually was like way easier than I thought. Like I was so in my head about it. I was like, I can do this. I'm good at this. So I know more and more recently, working with clients, and even like doing like coaching, like round table style actually has really helped kind of like allowing like different things to come up and realize like, oh, that's a cool way of doing that. And learning other people's styles and other questions that come up to them really has helped a lot.
I love those are my favorites. So yeah, thank you for sharing that. I think that's a huge confession and someone's really relating to what you're saying. Ori is saying like she can so relate, afraid to go live, put herself out there. But I know my purpose and message is bigger than my fear of being out there. So like, I think that's just relevant between what you were sharing and what Bella was sharing. And even me, like I see myself in all of that from the beginning of when I started to really realize, like you said, it's just not about you. It's about everyone that you're helping and working with. And just to talk about the round table, what Hannah's talking about is in QCA, we do group coaching. And so there'll be one client and everybody is the coach of that one client. And we actually just hosted a retreat and two of the ladies were at the retreat that are here right now. And we did that there too. And it's just so fucking powerful. It's so powerful to see different strategies of coaching, different questions people ask, different processes, all the different techniques and styles of coaching, and how, yes, in QCA, you're learning all these skills, but you're really learning how to make them your own, and how to give your own flair to them and bring your own energy to them. And like, you have this framework of how to do it, but then you're really, like Hannah does, like taps into her intuition and is able to just let it flow. And so as you're listening, if you guys have questions for these coaches, like they are so ready to answer them for you. Anything about your own coaching, anything you want to know, they're here for you. Thank you, Hannah, for being here. And let's go over to Destiny. Destiny, share what you shared when I posted about the panel for today. And I asked people, all coaches, if they wanted to be part of this. What did you say?
I said, yes, I definitely want to be a part of this, because when I was at BCE Live last year, I just said to myself, I'm going to be the next success story, like next round BCE Live, like I'm going to be up there. It's going to be me. So yeah.
And it is.
It is.
Yeah.
What are you sharing? Just
who you are, what you do, how you work with people, and what was your coaching confession? Like we went into like, some people were fixing, some people were filling, some people were assuming, like what was yours before you started? It could be anything.
Okay. So my name is Destiny, and I am a life and femininity coach is what I'm calling myself now.
I love it. And Destiny's in this round of QCA right now.
Yes, I'm in this round. And from the beginning, I started posting that I was in QCA from the day that I got on the application call. And I think that's really helped me get clients, just putting it out there from day one, having my free sessions and all of that. But I take women through womb work, and I had a program in September of last year, and a lot of stuff comes up when we start dealing with the womb, a lot of trauma, because we hold it and suppress it there. So as I was doing that, I had been coached before. So I'm just like, I'm going to take what I know from this coach, and see if I can do this. It was kind of like a trial run. And I ended up loving it, but I didn't really know how to hold the space properly. So I'm like, what's next? I was already a meditation instructor, and I was looking like, maybe it's hypnotherapy, maybe it's life coaching, maybe it's Reiki. And then I saw an ad for QCA, and I'm like, whoa, it's all of it and more. And so, yeah, now let's fast forward. What else did you ask?
Well, it's like, okay, so you were sharing that you were coaching from the space of like from working with previous coaches, like using some of their techniques into like your program, now that you have all the techniques and know how to hold the space, like what is it like for you now?
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I'm getting such like good reviews. Like the transformation is crazy. And our sessions, like everybody is mind blown. Like they're mind blown. Like, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. You know, we can end the session right here. And then I'm on the other side, like, dang, I'm mind blown too. Because when I really truly tap in, like Hannah was saying, to my intuition and I listen, it just comes right through. It's so easy. And so, yeah, I mean, now everything is great. And I have a program launching and I have some women in already, which is exciting. I'm a paid coach. So, yeah, that's me.
I'm so glad you shared all that. I think it's so relatable of being able to like use things that you've had from previous experiences and then say, actually, I don't know how, like, it actually is like very humbling to be like, I don't know what I'm doing. I need help, you know? And then it's amazing to me that you found QCA through an ad and you were like, this is it.
Yeah, this is it. And I remember
Everyone's congratulating you, by the way.
thank you.
Yeah.
I remember it was like you were in the round before. I don't know. I'll have to look in the group. But when I first joined, like this group that we're in right now, I just posted and I said, I'm going to be in the next round. And you were like, I can't wait to see you there. That was just me manifesting. I had no idea how I was going to, that was just, yes, I'm doing this. I feel it and I'm going after it. And here we are.
Here we are. You are going after it. I think that that's what's beautiful too. And we can, there's so many like directions I feel pulled to go in right now, but like when you're in a container of people that are all going after it, it's very motivating, right? Because they're all supporting each other, cheering each other on, helping each other with their business, like all the things. There is a question in the chat. So this is up for grabs for anyone who wants to share. How did you initially and or currently attract your clients? Manifestation, marketing, word of mouth. All of it. All of it. I feel like.
It just makes me want to say the best marketing strategy is being really good at what you do. When you know that you can do the thing, then marketing is kind of easy. You can do whatever feels good when you are confident in being able to achieve that transformation.
100%. Yeah, thanks for saying that. That's like my go-to. And here's another thing I want to add to that. It's like, so Callie is the business coach for QCA. And I don't know if you guys know this, but once a month now, moving forward, there will be a business mastermind session where you will be able to get business support. You'll be able to get marketing support. You'll be able to get niche support. You'll be able to get messaging support. You'll be able to get support on your business while you're learning the skills and tools. And so, it's something new that we're integrating into QCA that we're really excited about, because I do think it's important to learn both, right? But you don't want to first like market yourself till you're blue in the face, but then don't know how to actually take someone through a transformation. So I think they go hand in hand. Yeah. I have a question for you guys, but I just wanted to see if Ari said, Destiny, what's your IG? She'll drop it in, I'll have everyone drop their Instagrams into the chat and Facebook. If you're in Facebook, drop it in there.
Yeah, I would want to say like tap into your local communities and really utilize the connections that you have in past experiences. I'd have discovery calls from corporate, like when I used to work for corporate, I'd have discovery calls from my agency life. So like my my life just collides like from past lives to now. That's how I really do the marketing, and because I'm really freaking good at what I do, like referrals just come through.
Yes, all the referrals. Okay, my question to you guys is, so imagine that you're sitting in the seat of everyone that's watching this, and you guys have been in their seats. Like you've been thinking, you're watching BC Live, you're like, okay, I'm at this coach training. I know I want to up-level my skills, but there's still a lot of doubt that shows up of like, they're looking at you guys right now. And I know this from past experiences where it can feel maybe overwhelming of like, how am I going to get to that level? You know what I mean? Like, how am I going to get to where you guys are, where you have clients and you have programs, you have this and you have that? What would be your, I'm going to say advice. What would be or coaching to them, advice or coaching to someone that might be on the other end thinking that?
I would just say, so what I had to do it was very quick for me to make the decision to join QCA. I will just say that. I joined this BCE Live and I felt the pull. And of course there were fears and everything. And it was a big investment. And like, there were like these things that were on my mind, but what I did and what I would challenge everyone to sit with is allowing yourself to follow the pull, right? And like, don't ignore it. It was the best thing I did for my business, and so much more than just like becoming a coach. I want to share this because I saw some of the chats, and then some of the ladies here shared this as well, but just from the perspective of like my life in general, I was always someone who struggled to even like get on a Zoom like this and talk to all you guys, right? And just like Bella, like you said, writing the notes and, oh, this is exactly what I'm going to say, and okay, how does my voice sound? Do I sound nervous? Like I hated school because I hated being in group settings. Like, this was probably the most challenging part of my life. And graduation day with QCA, guys, I was crying so hard because I couldn't even get the words out, because I was like, holy shit, I overcame this in this program. I was 31 years old when I graduated this program. And I'm like, this point where it's like, I don't care. I can just be myself. And so much of that is the confidence in being a coach, of course. But Ashley, I don't know what kind of magic stuff you do, but like that gets us to just up level our energy in general too. Yeah. So I guess that was a lot of advice through my experience. Like, even if I can't imagine anyone going through this experience and regretting it. That's it.
Thank you for saying that and sharing that. And it's not, it's the people that come to QCA and feel called to it, you're creating your own magic. You guys are showing up. You know, I don't have the pill for you guys. I don't have the magic pill for success. I'm going to share the tools. I'm going to hold the container, and I'm going to help you rise. But like, you guys are choosing to rise, you know? So I think that's so beautifully said. And I actually forgot about that graduation, that you were like, you really did overcome that, because looking at you now, you would never think, oh, Callie has a hard time putting herself out there ever, or that was ever part of your paradigm.
Yeah, it's wild to think about. I thought it was just something that it would always be me. It would always be something that I struggled with. And I didn't even join QCA with the intention of overcoming that. And actually, it was probably one of the reasons why I didn't want to join, because I knew I was going to be in situations in front of a group, being put on the spot. And that was my worst nightmare, like absolute worst nightmare. And it was the best thing. And you were in this very loving container with other people who were feeling the same exact way. And I think when I realized that too, I was like, oh, wow, okay, I'm not the only person in the room feeling this way, and it's all going to be good. So all you guys, like, I see you, okay? If you're feeling that way, and Hannah's in here in the chat with us on Zoom saying like she relates to it so much. Yeah, it's all going to be good.
Brianna's like, I can totally relate to that. Yeah. And Noelle said permission to give advice. Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. I think it's super important and relevant. And I also just want to point out that like, when you come into QCA, there's people like Hannah, right? Who's like, I've never coached before. And then there's people like Destiny who are like, I tried a coaching program. I put it out there, we're like brand new. And then there's people like Katie and Callie who had businesses, right? And Katie already had a very, very successful business. And she's like, I want to add more skills to my to my toolbox. I want to help my clients have more transformation. So, and Bella, you were already you said you were consulting, you were working with, Tita Gina, but like everyone is at a different place when they come into QCA. But what's interesting is that I don't want to say the transformation is the same, but the transformation is similar. Okay, I don't know where I'm going with that, but like there's an elevation that happens for everyone. But what's cool is that because everyone's in a little bit of a different spot, there's a lot of different support and angles where you can get support from other people, and like have them look at your coaching and business from different ways too. So I don't know, I just rambled there, but just wanted to share that.
I do want to add to that, Ash, like so many good points, but it's just this magic and this frequency that everyone wants to fucking change the world and change fucking lives. Like that's the energy. And it's going back to heart level service of like seeing the other person at the end of the conversation or any coaching conversation and see them, and more than see them, witness them in the grandest and most possible version of them. That's really where the magic is. And QCA just like gives me chills, and I'm getting chills all over again. It's as if I'm transported back to like all the good sessions that we had together. I am from the Philippines. I attended all the live calls 5 a.m. to 7 a.m. because that's the level of commitment that I want my clients to know. Like I'm that fucking committed to my craft, and I'm fucking committed to you. So yeah.
Oh my God, just got chills. Also, I was gonna say, like, even from the Philippines right now, it's about to be 1 a.m. there, and Bella still showed up for this, but she didn't show up just for me. She showed up for all of you who are on this live, watching this, looking for the answers that you're looking for to find, the right path for you. So very, very cool. Noelle said, high vibrations, high frequency, change the world. Love it, Bella. Yeah. We're a change the world type of crew over here. It's a cool club. Hannah, go ahead.
So I would say for QCA, like when I did it last, I guess it was like November, December time that you had hosted BC Live last. I would say at that point, I was like, am I going to wait another 6 months to do the next round? Because I'm too scared to do it this round. And I was like, well, what's that going to do for my energy, my momentum, what I can do to help people? Even though I wasn't really sure what I was doing, or even if I wanted to coach, like it still was like, am I going to I felt like I was putting myself on hold for those 6 months. So that was really like the reflection I needed to like look inside and like, no, I'm ready for this.
I love that so much. Thanks for sharing that. I think that's a common thing too for people. And sometimes it's a timing thing, right? Where they act like, I know for Katie, she wanted to do it the round before, I believe, but then you couldn't timing wise. So you're like, no, the timing's right. Something like that. But I think for some people, it's that doubt that's like, let me hold myself back. Am I good enough to do this? Am I worthy enough to invest in myself? Am I really going to follow through with this? And like, I can honestly say, even if you never end up coaching, which is totally fine. Like when I joined my yoga certification, I really didn't think I was going to teach yoga, but then I ended up teaching. And so it's like, even if you never coach, you're still going to have a huge transformation. It's going to change your life. It's going to be, these are skills for your life, literally. Oh, we're getting fire emojis. Okay. Yeah, we have a question.
Is it cool to, no, I just want to keep going on this idea of what to tell people who are sitting there thinking about it. And it's like a culmination of what everybody's saying. The questions that I ask myself, which like Callie, they're pretty quick decisions for me at this point, but it's always like, what is the cost of inaction? And what is the potential of action? And which one do you want to go after? And like you were touching on, sometimes it isn't the right time, but you know that. And so if waiting 6 months is the thing, but you're committed to joining in that 6 months, then start moving the money and start setting it aside and start anticipating joining in that next round. But if you know that you belong in this round, if you're listening to this and you're like, I want to be in this round, that's enough confirmation that you do belong here. You are hearing it from all of us, and no compensation going on. We are showing up for the audience because we believe in this program and what it can do for your life. So I agree with Callie. Like, I don't think that anyone could ever join this and regret it. And the group that you go into, everyone has those same fears and they're working through the same things. So being in that environment, it's so safe to come and even express those fears and dissipate them really quickly. So I would just say that it's a really good step in like trusting your intuition, is to say, if your intuition is calling you in here, there's a strong chance, if not 100% chance, that it's right.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that, saying that, for being here. I'm so grateful. This is a dream come true, you guys, for me, like to be able to be with all of you here and have students who want to be here to support this and to support you and to support me. It's like, it's wild. It's wild. I just want to share that. It's wild. It's awesome. I'm so grateful. Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead. Yeah. Destiny.
I just want to add everything that everybody said spot on. Like, there is some magic that happens inside of this container. And if you're feeling that pull, like Callie mentioned, trust it, really trust it and trust yourself. And if you're looking like, because I remember, I said I wanted to be up here, but I'm like, am I actually gonna be a good coach? Like, am I actually gonna be the next success story? So there was that doubt. So it's like just trusting the process in that quantum truth prom. And just believe in yourself, really. Know that you will get that transformation. You have no choice. You're getting coached every single week. You're being a coach every single week. If you show up and just do what you have to do in the program, by the end, you'll be up here at like, yeah, I was watching 2022. So yeah, just trust.
Yeah. Trust. And like you said, I mean, it's basically mandatory to show up. Just kidding. Like, you're going to get what you need. That's another conversation. Listen to Katie's podcast if you want to know about that. Okay. That was awesome. Thank you guys Bella, go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to add, I forget if this was one of the quantum truth bombs, but if the intention is clear, the mechanism will appear. Ooh. And I think that's just something that you have to anchor really on. If your intention is really to serve at a higher level, and like it's the purest intention in your heart to just be there for these people that need the support, like, it's gonna happen, and you have to trust that. So
yeah. I love that so much. And we really are like a community, like a strong community inside of QCA, whether you're in the round with everyone or like past rounds, like all rounds kind of mixed together in my mind, of course. But like, we have so much support to give you guys. There's so much inside the program, like beyond, to support you on your journey. I think Shiksha asked a question. And if there's any other last questions for our amazing panel here of world-class coaches, please share what they are. If you want to know anything, like, this is your chance. You have them for another few minutes. Shiksha said, how do you sustain the transformation, as it's often easy to go back to default mode? We stay in the work. Like, really, we stay in the work. But if anyone has anything on that, feel free. How do you stay in the transformation? How do you sustain the transformation? I think I have an answer too, but go ahead. Yeah, no, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, because you touched on this, like, day one. See, I was there day one.
Yes.
Yeah, it's the commitment to never arriving. Like, your craft just up levels and up levels as you go deeper and deeper into the work. And once you're in, like, you'd want to like up level for your clients. You want to up level because you want to serve at your next level. There's always going to be a next level. And yeah.
I love that. I couldn't have said it better. So there you go. Ori said, what techniques did you use to get more comfortable with putting yourself out there? And yes, Kelly, agree with you. Transformation is always evolving. Totally.
I would say specifically for me, like setting tangible goals. So for me, was like leading one of the groundings during class.
Yeah.
So there's usually a grounding on the Thursday class. Well, actually all of them. So that was one of my goals, was just kind of putting myself out there for that. But then also arriving in the group Facebook page too, of setting offering out there for just practice on different things, was one of something that my coach and I came up with that was really super tangible for me to actually get out there and practice.
Love that. That's so good.
In a safe space.
Yeah. That's so good. Thanks for sharing that. Anyone else? What techniques did you use to help put yourself out there? We have another question also. Do you find most of your clients on IG or somewhere else?
I find most of mine through Instagram.
Yeah.
That's also what I teach. So maybe that's why. But I will say, and I love talking to my students about this, is social media doesn't have to be the only way. Like, nothing is more powerful than the current relationships you already have, and like your friends and your family and your network. And so what is interesting, and I certainly experienced this, I will say my very first client was through Instagram, and I did not know this person.
Wow.
At the same time though, if I think of like the first handful of them, they always chose to work with me after having some sort of experience with me. So that could have been like, actually, Ms. Bella here, who's going to be in my marketing program starting next week, right? Like, Bella and I built a relationship, and now she's going to be one of my clients. That could also look like, having a DM conversation relationship with someone. There's someone else who I recently started working with for like 2 years. She's been in my DMs on Instagram, right? So the trust is definitely, I would say, the most important, but it can certainly happen with strangers on Instagram.
Absolutely, it can. Yeah. And I would say, like, really building a holistic platform for yourself of like, attracting clients on Instagram, attracting clients because you have an email list, attracting clients because you have a podcast possibly, or you're on other people's podcasts, attracting clients from being in your local community, like Bella was sharing earlier, using your network. If you have a yoga community, using your network, there's so many ways to create, sustainability in your business. Okay, we're going to answer this one last question from Shiksha that said, has anyone had a totally different career while doing QCA? What was that like? Especially if your career is on the total opposite end of being in this space. I don't know if anyone in this room has, but I don't think so.
I mean, I'm a bookkeeper. I don't know if that could get much different.
Yeah, really. Really.
And a mom of 3 at home with them all the time. So I guess, is the question about managing different types of energy or time?
Yeah, Shiksha, if you could be more specific, how specifically? That'd be great. Cynthia said, Ashley mentioned that coaching is not about us and about our experience. I want to be a business coach. How do you keep your experience out?
I can share.
Yeah.
Well, and Ashley, I don't think you would say it's
keeping your experience
that
out.
Always, right?
Yeah.
Like, so in the context of being a business coach, and this is something that I do with my clients now, especially if they've never experienced being in a coaching session. I'm very clear to explain, okay, there are really 2 things that happen in our sessions here. There's a coaching aspect to it. And if they don't have that experience, I'll explain like what coaching is and why I'm going to be asking them lots of questions and how I will not be giving them advice. And then I'll say, at some point in the session, we might want to switch gears and kind of put on our strategy hat. where then I'm going to brainstorm with you, right? So I've found that has allowed me to do both, and also in a really powerful way where the client understands like, oh, okay, so I'm getting coached here because Callie sees that I really have the answers inside of me and she's trying to pull them out right now, but also she's going to be open to brainstorming with me about content or whatever it is. So your experience can come into it in that respect, but I would say give your client context as to, you know, what's happening before you go there.
I love that. Yeah, that's so key. And there's been times where I've shared strategies with clients that I've used in business coaching as like more of a consultant role. And I got to tell you, though, when they would take those strategies on, they were like, this doesn't feel good. And they didn't know until they did it. And they were like, okay, this doesn't feel good. So what I learned is like, when you're offering a strategy, to have the skill set to be able to have the client check in with themselves to say, is this really in alignment with me and the way that I want to run my business? Because there's a bajillion ways to run your business. So yeah, having them check in on that is key.
Yeah. And I kind of want to add to that, like it's also shift and check if like you're still in rapport with the client, because the client will let you know if it doesn't feel good for them. And your role as a coach slash consultant or business mentor like is to receive that feedback if it's not received well as well.
So good. So good. Soul Recovery as how to build an email list. I think this is the wrong panel for that. Want to learn how to coach? Ask a question on that. Yeah, that's a totally different thing. I'm sorry, we're not going to cover that right now, but it is a valid question and I totally respect it. And I think it's important. So as we wrap up, I would say, you know, from these beautiful souls that are sharing, you know, so vulnerably and so real and answering your questions, like, you know, anything's possible, right? Anything's possible for you in your craft. Anything's possible for you in your business. I've literally watched students go from 0 to 100 in their business in their own way. And like, they're booking things out and their client roster is full and they just booked an event. Like all these different things are happening. And I really contribute it to like being all in with your mission, being all in with your vision for your business, with the way in which you show up and saying yes to, like Katie was saying earlier, just following that pull. So yeah, any last words to share before we kind of sign off on BC Live Day 2? I feel complete. You guys feel complete? Cool. Well, let's give it up for, okay, there's one more question. We're not complete yet. Becky, what about managing the line between being a hired coach versus friendship? Anyone want to take that?
I would say friendship, you really giving advice or holding your friendship space. You're not actually holding the space as a coach and coming through with the best intentions for transformation is really what's coming through for me.
Yeah, I want to piggyback off of that. It's like, to me, I look at it as two different hats. And when I'm with my friends and they're going through something, I'm like, okay, do you want my friend hat or do you want my coaching hat? Right. And sometimes I can just tell what they need. And sometimes they just want to be like held and validated and acknowledged in what they're going through. And they don't want me to tell them, you know, dump that person or, you know, leave that job or whatever. That's not what they're necessarily looking for. Most of the time, and we kind of said this yesterday, people are really looking for you to just listen to them. And so we really do get into that in QCA as far as like the friendship line and just clarifying all of that versus a hired coach, right? So like if you have friends that are like constantly coming to you, asking you for help and advice, there needs to be some sort of boundary put in place there so that they know like, this is what you do for a living, you know? Yeah. Okay, so before you guys go, I just want to say that the applications are officially open for QCA. Woo! And that's how all these beautiful souls got into the program. They applied to the program. We got on a call. We sat down to see if it was a good fit, and they were in or not, and they were all in. So that was awesome. So applications are open. We'll drop the link. Apply. You have nothing to lose and everything to gain. So thank you all so much for being here. Everyone's thanking you. I'm so, so, so grateful. I did mine day 2 of BC Live, I think. Yes. Triksha said this was beautiful. Thank you. Yes, ladies. Thank you so much for being here, for supporting QCA and everyone that might be coming into QCA. I think it's super, super helpful for them to hear all this information. So thank you so much. And I have a few more slides and then we're going to sign off, but you guys feel free to hop off or stay on, whatever you want to do. I love you all. Thank you for being here. Let's give them a round of applause. Everyone on Facebook. Woo-hoo! They crushed it. Awesome. So grateful. Okay, so let's just close it out and I'll just share my screen really quick for BC Live Day 2 so that you can just hit the bullseye. So just to close it out for Day 2, being a master of your craft doesn't just happen overnight, right? It's a commitment and a value to continue to learn, grow, and be the best coach ever. BCE, best coach ever. What are you committed to and how are you committing to it? That's the question for you. What are you committing to and how are you committed to it? So your homework for today is post in the group what your biggest takeaway, aha moment is from today's training. Generate community. If you didn't already connect with someone, share share your takeaway with them, and journal on how committed am I to my coaching craft, right? Write a list of all the ways that you're committing to being the best possible coach that you can be. And how will you commit to your greatness and the greatness of your clients? And then post it and tag me in the group. If you want to tag on Instagram, that's great too. Screenshot this, do your homework, post it. The giveaway is still popping. We have everyone logged in. I know what's going on. I'm so excited to continue tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be so great. Just a little preview for tomorrow. We're going to be getting into NLP tomorrow. So neuro-linguistic programming. Now that we've gotten some of the foundations, you've learned the quantum coaching method, the foundations, you've heard from quantum coaches, you've heard their confessions. Hopefully you see yourself in their stories and in their shares. And tomorrow we're going to get into adding some of these NLP tools to your toolbox. And I'm super excited. So I am super, super grateful for you showing up for Day 2 so big. And make sure that you do your homework. Feel free to write your biggest takeaway. You can drop it in this chat or drop it in the group. And I'll see you tomorrow. I can't wait. Sending you all so much love. Thank you. And I'll see you then. Bye. Woo! We did some work today. Thank you so much for listening. You know I love my BAM fam. If this episode resonated with you, please share it with someone who you know would love it too, because we live for the ripple effect over here. And how can you best support the show? Make sure you're subscribed, hit the 5 stars, and leave a review on iTunes, and let me know how the podcast has impacted you. I love being part of your real-time journey, so screenshot the episode and tag me and my guests on Instagram at Manifest with Ash. Now say it with me. I am my own power source. I am the master of my own energy, and I deserve everything that I desire. We don't just talk about it over here, we be about it. Now go get 'em.